Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the black drum. Is it good? Oh no! You garbage! Oh, sorry, I just threw up in my mouth just thinking about this gun. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not. This gun's absolute puke, man. Just a piece of trash, the likes of which you've never seen. This gun is so garbage, so vomit, so worthless. It is not worth the cool exterior that it is made out of. God, this gun looks awesome. Oh, it looks so good. Gun is gorgeous, but man, what a piece of trash. Oh my god, this gun sucks. Just sucks. And by the time we're done with this video, you will know exactly why. Alright guys, if you like these videos, if you like the content that we do here, please use our supporter creator code. It really does help us out. It really helps us to keep doing what we're doing, keep on making videos for you guys, and keep on smashing that content. So thank you so much. Rock and roll. Alright guys, let's get right into it. So, the black drum. Why is this gun such a colossal, absolutely astounding failure? Alright, so, right out the gate. This is a black metal drum shotgun that fires shells in 2-round bursts, dealing moderate damage and heavy impact with heavy recoil. Okay, so this is an automatic weapon with heavy recoil. That's not good. An automatic weapon with heavy recoil? Well, how the heck are you supposed to hit your targets consistently? 2500 range is okay. You know, a lot of my favorite shotguns have 2000 or less, so 2560 is, you know, not too bad. 43% crit chance, not too bad. You know, running with a double crit damage build, not too bad. You know, getting up to 80% bonus damage based on your percentage of your missing health, you know, not too bad. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is the core fundamental of this gun. This gun reduces your current health by 12.5% whenever you reload, or once every 6 seconds when you stun something, or whenever you, whenever you kill something, you know, depending on which passive you decided to go with. This gun will trigger on that passive, which is, you know, all the time, you know, and then it kills you. It doesn't kill you. It takes away 12.5% of your current health, so it'll never kill you. But this gun is essentially crippling you constantly just eating away at your health. And that's not even the worst part. That's like, okay, fine, you know what, I can kind of work with that. Whatever. We lose some health. No big deal. This gun gets more damage when you lose health. So, it's a match made in heaven, right? Right, guys? Right? Right? Come on, guys. It's amazing, right? No! No, this is garbage. Garbage. You garbage. Piece of... Oh my god. Suck. This gun sucks. Okay. So... if you were going to use a gun that crippled you in order to get power, that gave you immense godly power at the cost of being extremely squishy, you're like, oh my god, I'm living on the edge all the time, any little mistake and I'm dead. Oh, it's exciting, right? Oh man, that gun could be really cool, right? You know, oh man, you're constantly at the verge of death all the time, but the payoff is that you completely annihilate enemies. Right? Wrong. This gun is a piece of turd, man. Even if you are crippled beyond belief, this gun's time to kill is vomit-tastic, man. Okay, so the worst thing about this gun is that it fires 5 trigger pulls. And then you have to reload this gun. Every 5 trigger pulls, you have to reload this gun. And it is a 2.8 second reload. It is brutal, man. Brutal. I mean, yes, you could put more reload on this gun, but literally destroying the one good thing that this gun has going for is just the crazy, crazy crit damage that you get when this thing hits, right? When this thing hits hard, this thing hits really, really hard, right? 80% bonus damage, double crit damage. Throw on your, your crit damage hero and just go hard, man. Go hard. Get those crits. At least you're gonna be wiping enemies out like crazy. Right? Wrong. No, wrong. This thing is, even with a 43% chance to crit, shooting five shots with this pathetic rate of fire is a complete joke. This gun fires so slow and chunky and garbage. Oh my god. It takes forever to get your mag off. Like, you're gonna be in battle, you'd be like, oh, bleh, 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 bleh. And that's if you're holding a trigger down on a weapon with heavy recoil that is extremely inaccurate. But you gotta be right, like, put the gun in their mouth in order to hit stuff. I mean, this gun has a pretty big, area, and it's bigger than a Tiger Jaw, and Tiger Jaw is one of my go-to guns, and I love Tiger Jaw. So why is this one so suck? Well, because it doesn't matter that it has a big reticle. The recoil is so awful that you got to really aim your shots, meaning you're firing even slower than this already extremely suck fire rate. This gun has sucktastic fire rate. This thing is trash. It takes so long to shoot that mag off and get your damage down. Like, any gun that is invested heavily into crit needs to be a fast firing gun in order for that gun to not have such massive RNG swings in the damage. There are so many moments where you're going to be shooting this gun. You will empty an entire 5 rounds into a mist monster and not kill that mist monster. Whereas other times, you'll run up and you will one-shot kill a taker in the face. Just boom! Nuclear warhead goes off and just decapitates him. Like, the damage variance and the RNG on this weapon is so trash. And the aim is so trash. And the reload is so trash. The rate of fire is so trash. That the incredible crit damage, the incredible crit chance, the incredible 80% bonus damage that you get for being injured is just completely negligible.
Not possible.
And if that wasn't bad enough, it gets even worse. This incredibly niche weapon with these incredibly super stringent requirements in order for this gun to be used effectively. And it's like putting you in such crazy danger all the time. Guess what? It's even worse than that. This gun can only be physical or fire. So you can't even make this an energy weapon to be universal against everything. You can't make this a nature, fire, water weapon to pull out the right gun for the right job. No, you literally can only ever use this thing against nature enemies or as a mist monster, well, specifically blaster, taker, propane, lobber, killer. That's it. You're either going to go with, you are the physical attack dog, or you're going to be the nature killer. And that's it. So only in the situation that you want to play this super niche nonsense against nature enemies specifically will this gun ever actually be of any value. And even then, it is one of the most frustrating garbage experiences ever. You may be able to use this in lower power levels and not suffer so bad, but in a 174 match, this gun reveals itself to be the nightmare that it truly is. It is the most wildly inconsistent, just slow firing, god-awful reload,
Not possible.
just vomit-tastic inconsistent trash weapon you've ever seen that requires you to be crippled and on the verge of death at all times for a payout that is not even remotely worth it. This gun would need to hit so much harder or be so much more consistently terrifying, even in some situation, in order for a gun with this big of a downside to be a viable weapon. And this gun fails spectacularly to meet that requirement. For the godly payout that this gun does, it is not. There is no niche consistency to make this gun have a satisfying element where if you play it perfectly, you get this great experience. There is no great experience with this gun. There's no point where you're gonna feel so powerful if you play perfectly that this gun is worth it. The majority of the time, you're just going to be suffering and dying and getting slammed by, you try to get yourself really crippled. Or you don't even try to get crippled. You just happen to get crippled because, whatever. You're playing this wonky gun that, runs out of ammo all the bloody time. And you're constantly reloading and getting slammed. And that's the big thing. You take damage so much because of how much this gun has to reload. It takes so long to reload. You're slow and garbage. And then you only get 5 shots, man. 5 shots with this gun before you have to get slow and trash again and get your face smashed off like over and over and over. This gun is just pathetic. Now, let's talk about the next hit. So is it worth it to hurt yourself to get an AoE attack? Because on the next enemy hit, deal 29 to 132 base damage based on the percentage of your missing health in not even a 1 tile radius. It's a 0.75. So this could have been a 2 tile radius and this still would have been complete trash. Against 174 enemies, the splash damage that you get from that next enemy hit is so pathetic that it does not kill baby husks. Freaking baby husks. Yeah. Seriously. This gun is such a joke. That ability is such a piece of puke that you can't even kill a freaking baby husk with the splash damage if you shoot it perfectly into a crowd. Holy cow. So, who is this gun for? Well, let's see if we can create an ad for this gun. Alright, guys. Are you the 1%? Are you an extremely high power level bored player who has run out of things to do in the game and you need a crazy niche challenge to give your life fulfillment? Well, we've got the gun for you. Get your black drum today, where you can spec it for fire and sometimes do godly damage against a very specific enemy if everything lines up absolutely perfectly and you don't die instantaneously, and then you will die instantaneously after that. But congratulations, you could be the 1%. Woo. It's awful, man. This is an awful gun. This gun is good only for OG players who have been playing this game forever, who are looking for an extremely wacky gun that has an extremely niche strategy and loadout and payoff that requires an extremely specific combination of support heroes to make this gun viable. And if you meet the requirements on all of those, if you have all the options and have exactly the right gun and god roll it perfectly and get the exact right mission, then you will be able to be like, hey, look at me. I can do this cool thing. That is kind of cool. That is the person who this gun is for. This gun can be kind of fun when it works, but it is so niche that you're not going to you have to be pretty bored to set up a loadout to make a gun like this work. Now let's go and talk about the support squads for this one, because this is the squad that I ended up using, the one that worked the best for me. Shields were just awful. Trying to rely on shields. Shields, you got such trashy, tiny little shields that it was just a complete waste of time. The only way I could have enough health to actually survive and make this gun viable for any period of time was to run with Blast from the Past. And that way, when I was really low on health, I wasn't really like super weak. And when my health regenerated back up to 30%, you know, I'd be sitting on an okay amount of health. When you're at 30% on this guy, you're basically stronger than a 100% health and shield, you know, non-Blast from the Past person. It's crazy. So Blast from the Past is just wildly powerful. I went with Buckshot Raptor because this, you basically, you got to all in with this gun. This gun's all about getting those massive crit damage. It's the only reason to even play this gun is to get these ludicrously massive crit damage explosions and just try to nuke mist monsters into oblivion. And it'll never happen. You'll never, very rarely will you ever hit hard enough to wipe out high level enemies. This is really only good against average, you know, if you're going through the game, you can play this gun and it'd be okay, it'd be fine. But against high power level enemies, I would do better with a 106 Tiger Jaw than this piece of trash. I'm not even joking. I would do so much better with a 106 Tiger Jaw Obsidian than a Shadow Shard 130 fire specific or physical specific in this case, because I was hunting, you know, the blasters and stuff. So anyway, the loadout that I went with, I decided to go in with the increased headshot damage up to 50%. So when you're crippled, your headshots just hit, you know, crazy hard. Combos really well with, you know, your insane damage and your insane crit. So if you actually crit a headshot when you have low health, this is where you can get that one-shot kill on a taker. You can just like blow him up. You get a little lucky, shoot him in the face when you have low health, boom. He can be going from sleeping to dead like that. So pretty nuts. You go with Saurian Hide and Saurian Might for your Dino heroes. This one's obviously a no-brainer. This is the one that's really good. It's the only one that truly benefits you, is having bonus armor. The Saurian Might is gonna give you extra damage when your health is full, or the higher your health is, the more damage you do. And so it'll kind of balance you out. Like, you start out strong with Saurian Might, and then as you get weaker, this does less and less. And then all of your other skills, like Ow My Eye and the weapon itself and everything, does more damage. So it kind of gives you this balance so that you're not crippled in any situation. If you're full, you're strong. If you're weak, you're insane. Just insane. There's no other options for the dinos. I mean, your other option is take melee specialty, which is trash, or energy, which you don't need at all. So these are the only two that you can really use if you're using Blast from the Past. Now we went with Stealth Shock. This increases your shotgun damage by 17%. This is your Shrapnel Headhunter ability. Owl My Eye is the Jonesy bot, and Izza is your Saurian Hide, Prehistoric Izza, and then Saurian Might is Rex Jonesy. Last but not least, we went with Survivalist. Survivalist Jonesy's Survivalist ability to give myself some heals to try to combat the life loss from reloading all the time, just to try to give myself some kind of sustainability. It was, you know, that's what this build, you know, really struggles with, is not dying, right? So you get down to really crippled health, and, you know, Survivalist gives you a little bit of sustain, keeps you just kind of like lingering on that on the edge. I wouldn't worry too much about, oh, when it raises your health, you're going to lose damage. No, you're not at all. It doesn't give you that much health. And any health that you get, you're going to lose really quickly, because you're so slow when you're reloading, and you're reloading like all the time. So yeah, you really need that extra little bit of health coming in all the time. I would have probably taken an offensive ability if there was any really good options. You know, for like another Shell Shock, but unfortunately your options are like Skull Trooper Jonesy, which is not really effective because this gun doesn't fire fast enough to utilize that 15% bonus, so that's kind of trash. And there really isn't any other really good options for damage characters So I was like, yeah, well, if I'm not going to get damage, I'm definitely going to go with like Survivalist, or maybe with the extra armor from Bomb Squad Kyle. I thought about that as well. I used him in my first build. He was okay, but I find that especially with Blast in the past, Survivalist is really, really good. You get that healing, and it heals you for enough, right? Enough to be worth it, to be viable. And this works, it's really good. This thing hits like a truck, right? If you get those headshot crits, comboed with Shell Shock, add Saurian Might on there, you get your critical blast. The crit damage that you can do with this gun is just astounding, right? The problem is just too inconsistent to be actually worthwhile. You got to commit so hard. You got to get in so close. Even though the gun has 2,500 range, because it's so inaccurate due to the incredible kick. Like the gun has a really, really bad kick. It just makes it really not viable. The heavy recoil just completely eliminates any ability that this gun has to be a mid-range type gun. Like 2,500 range is you're going to end up fighting within one tile at all times with this gun in order to guarantee that you're hitting your shots, and that you're getting close enough to get splashed, to utilize the full reticle to hit as many enemies as possible. And yeah, it's like the 2,500 range is not enough. If you're hanging back, you're going to notice the damage drop off is not great. You can tap some guys from a little bit longer range out and do some pretty decent damage, but yeah, it's like you're not utilizing your fully auto, right? You pull that trigger down and it's like, you're just gonna miss and miss and miss. You're gonna get not good shots. You're not gonna really lock onto the head and hit those headshots over and over and over again. You might even miss your targets entirely. You might jump. It's so rough, man. It's such a rough experience using this gun effectively. Like, this gun should have been had its damage tuned up and its fire rate brought down. If you're going to have a horrible recoil weapon, it should have a lower fire rate so that you're not required to shoot fast in order to achieve its full damage per second, because this gun requires you to hold that trigger down and fire at the fastest rate if you're going to even achieve the DPS that this gun's capable of, which is already sad and already low, right? It's already a very, very unimpressive damage per second gun, and it really requires you to lean heavily on the 80% bonus damage to bring the damage up to make it actually a viable option. But it, compared to its peers, this gun's killing you all the time. It has a pathetic splash, and all right. Anyway, it's bad. It's a bad gun. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your resources god rolling this one unless you are a bored high level player, in which case knock yourself out. But yeah, I really hope this review helps you guys out, helps save you from wasting resources on this one, or at least lets you know what you're getting into. If you did like this review, this totally not a rant. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Leave a thumbs up. It really helps us out, helps the channel grow. Ring that bell for notifications, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this gun. Let me know if you had the same experience with me. Let me know if I saved you from making a mistake. Let me know if I'm completely wrong, and if you have a completely different opinion and different perspective on this gun that I maybe didn't consider. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the VASH Corps. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for watching these videos and making it possible to do this job. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah! Oh no. Oh no. Boo! You garbage.